Power BI community, and welcome to the November edition of the Power BI Monthly Update. I'm Patrick LeBlanc, Principal Program Manager on the Microsoft Fabric team, here to bring you the latest updates and new features for Power BI. If you want to learn more about the topics we're going to discuss in this video, head over to the Updates blog. You can find a link where? In the description below. Okay, so you know how we like to do. Enough of all this talking, let's get started. First up, we have Power BI reporting, Power BI Copilot and AI, Copilot and Power BI mobile apps. We're excited to announce the release of Copilot and Power BI mobile apps. This new feature enhances your mobile experience when you're on the go by bringing the power of AI directly to your fingertips, offering a quick and simple way to dive into your data. With Copilot and Power BI mobile apps, you no longer need to analyze your data by yourself. Copilot provides report summaries and insights, allowing you to make informed decisions anytime, anywhere. Copilot summaries in subscriptions. Do you need insights from Power BI images or a quick summary in your email? Look no further. Subscribing to Copilot summaries for your Power BI reports is here. This feature is available for standard subscriptions and Copilot eligible reports. Check out the monthly update blog for more instructions on setting up Copilot summaries for the Power BI reports you subscribe to. You know how we like to do. Enough of all this talking. We have a great demo from Micah Foster-Heldy on Copilot and Power BI mobile apps. Let's take a look at that now.
We are very excited to introduce the release of Copilot in Power BI mobile apps. This new feature brings the power of AI directly to your fingertips, enhancing your mobile experience where you're on the go and offering a quick and simple way to dive into your data. Let's see what you can do with it and how it works. The Copilot button in the mobile app is available for mobile phones on reports that meets Copilot requirements in Power BI. To start using it, just tap on the Copilot button located in the report header and select whether you want to get a summary or look into insights. Once the request has been made, in this case, the request is for an executive summary, the Copilot chat opens with the relevant prompt and starts working on providing the requested summary. Here is the result of the request of getting an executive summary on this page. To view or explore the data referenced in the summary received, you can tap on it and get a closer look on the relevant visual. The visual is interactive, so you can use our mobile app interaction on it, like long tap for tooltip and drill down and up. You can continue to explore other references as well. And to continue exploring the report using Copilot Assistance, you can select a suggested prompt from the bottom of the screen. You can view more suggestions by tapping on the refresh button. The suggestions can include additional prompts like find insights or result adjustments like make it shorter or make it formal. The current summary is only on this page, and you can ask to get a summary of the entire report. Since the summary is long, I will expand the chat to read it more easily. Tapping on the references icon will open the references list, where you can see all the referenced visual with the relevant name and pages. If this summary is too long for your needs, you can use the Make It Shorter suggestion to get a shorter summary. If you are pleased with the resulted summary and you want to share it, you can use the copy option to copy the results to the clipboard and then paste it wherever you like. You can see that in addition to the summary, there is also a link to the report that the summary was created for. So if the recipient needs more details, they can simply open the report from that link. To view the report again, you can close the Copilot chat. Don't worry, the chat history will stay intact when you close the chat and navigate to other pages, as long as you don't exit or refresh the report. So this is our first Copilot feature we are launching for Power BI mobile apps, and we are planning to introduce many more in the future. We invite you to give it a try and share your thoughts with us, including any capabilities you would like to see incorporated in the future. Thank you.
Next up, we have Power BI reporting, Path Layer for the Azure Map visual. This month, a new feature called the Path Layer is being introduced to the Azure Map visual, enhancing geospatial analytics capabilities. The Path Layer allows users to visualize connections between multiple geographic points. Whether you are overseeing logistics, analyzing network traffic, or monitoring asset shipments worldwide, this feature enables you to visualize connections between multiple geographic points in an intuitive and interactive manner. Visual calculations. This month, we are adding a highly requested feature, export support. You can now export data from visuals with visual calculations or hidden fields. When exporting data, hidden fields within a visual are excluded unless you choose to export the underlying data. The results from visual calculations are consistently included in the export. However, this does not apply when exporting underlying data, as visual calculations are exclusive to the visual and do not form part of the underlying data. Set Alert with Activator and Real-Time Intelligence GA. In December, we announced a public preview of alerting capabilities within Power BI reports using Real-Time Intelligence Activator, part of Microsoft Fabric. This capability is now generally available. A couple of GA capabilities are here. First, stay on top of your critical metrics by monitoring your business objects. Next, unlock the full potential of creating business rules on your data with advanced data filtering and monitoring capabilities. Finally, set up rules that trigger automatically with every new event that comes in on your stream of data. For even more capabilities, find this feature in the monthly updates blog. That's a wrap on reporting, but you know we have to check out some great demos. First up, Path Layer for the Azure Map visual with Amanda, followed by visual calculations in preview from J-Ron.
This month, we're introducing a new feature to the Azure Map visual, the Path Layer. This new layer provides users with the ability to visualize geographic connections between multiple points. Whether you're managing logistics, analyzing network traffic, or tracking asset shipments across the globe, this feature allows you to visualize connections between multiple geographic points in an intuitive and interactive way. Let's start with a simple example. Here, we want to visualize the two routes for some ships. We have the latitude and longitude, the timestamp for each of the locations, and a label for the two routes for the ships, Path A and Path B. To draw the line, we start by dragging the Path ID column over to the field well. With this, you can see lines start to be drawn. However, we don't know yet what order the points should be in, so it's not showing in a smooth line. So next we add the timestamp to the point order field well, which will indicate to the visual what's the correct order for each point to be connected. You'll also be able to style each line based off of the path ID. So we can make one line purple, and the other pink. You can also control the transparency and width of each of the lines. The lines are also interactive, so as you hover over them, you'll see the tooltip for the nearest point, and clicking on the line will select that point, cross-highlighting other visuals. By default, the bubbles for each of the location will continue to show on the map once you've made your path, but you can choose to turn the bubble layer off in the formatting settings and just see the paths. When you do this, the bubbles will only show when hovering over the line, which indicates what point would be selected if you did click. If you need to break your data down by another category, you are able to add a legend field to the visual as well. Let's, for this example, assume that we have two planes, one named alpha and one named beta. And each of these planes has a primary route that it flies, which is labeled A. And the alpha plane also has a secondary route that it will sometimes do that's labeled B. In my map, when I just have the path ID for the routes, you can see that the primary routes for both my alpha and beta planes are being grouped together. But if I go ahead and add the plane names to the legend, now there's 3 lines. The beta is the dark blue, and then there's 2 alphas, alpha A and alpha B. There is a unique behavior to be aware of when it comes to drilling. Drilling down in a hierarchy, like for example going from country to city in this example, would result in many odd paths. We're setting the order based off of the timestamp again, but if we were at the top level of the hierarchy, most of the points would just show up on top of each other representing the US. And it's only once the visual is drilled down that the unique locations that we're trying to connect are actually shown. Given this, when a drill hierarchy is present at the same time as the path layer, we automatically drill the visual down to the lowest level, and you are not able to drill back up. Another thing to be aware of is that when there's a point that's part of 2 different paths, the bubbles for each of those paths will show on top of each other, meaning you wouldn't immediately be able to see the bubble that's on the bottom. However, if you hover on the line for that path, it bubbles up to the top. Lastly, there's a few limitations to be aware of. Today, the path layer works primarily with the bubble layer. Once you add a path to your map, you'll see that the filled map, cluster bubbles, heat map, and 3D column layers are all disabled. Additionally, while you can use the path layer in conjunction with reference layers, the reference layer will be static. It's currently unsupported to mix data-bound reference layers with the path layer. And that's it for the path layer. Please give it a try and let us know if you have any feedback and what you'd like to see next.
This month, we're enabling export for visuals that include one or more visual calculations. So here I have a visual that has a sales amount and a diff visual calculation. The actual calculation here doesn't matter, but it's a sales amount minus previous sales amount. So it calculates a difference for each region against the previous region in the chart. So again, the actual visual calculation doesn't matter. What matters is that I have a visual calculation on this visual. Now, if I go into here, previously export was disabled, so you couldn't export any visual that had any visual calculation. But now it's enabled, and of course, depending on the type of visual, some of the options might not be available to you. For example, this is now disabled because I am not exporting a table or a matrix. This data with current layout is only available for those. And then also the underlying data is turned off because of the report author making settings here. But summarized data is available for me, so I'm going to pick that, and then I'm going to just export to an Excelix. Okay, I'm going to export that, and then when you see the export, you will notice that this export now it does include the visual calculation. So not only does it include the region and the sum of sales amount as expected, but also the results of the visual calculation are now included. Now, one more thing to just quickly note, if I go back in here in the export, so the visual calculation will be included except for underlying data. So for all export types, it will be included except for underlying data, because a visual calculation is not part of your data model, it's part of your visual. So it's not included in the underlying data. So when you export a visual that has a visual calculation to underlying data, you can do it, but the visual calculation will be removed from the export, so it will not be included in the actually exported file.
Next up, Power BI modeling. Define new measure in DAX Query View quick queries. Creating measures in DAX Query View is now simpler. The Quick Queries option in the context menu of tables, columns, or items in the data pane includes Define New Measure. This will generate a new query with the initial syntax prepared, enabling you to create a query scope measure DAX formula. You can then incorporate your own DAX formula and run it when ready. Metric sets, a new era of metric management in Fabric. The public preview of Metric Set is now officially available for both service and desktop platforms. This significant new feature is aimed at transforming the way organizations manage and utilize metrics. The Fabric metric layer centralizes in the Power BI Metrics Hub, simplifying metric management, ensuring consistency, and building trust in the data across your organization. Announcing performance improvements for models with calculation groups and format strings in Excel. There are now substantial performance improvements for MDX queries on models with calculation groups and format strings. The recent updates are expected to enhance the performance and reliability of operations in analyzing Excel for models that includes one or both of the following: dynamic format strings for measures and calculated items with format strings. These improvements extend to other MDX scenarios, meaning all client applications that use MDX to query semantic models with these features will benefit from the same performance enhancements. Introducing the new OneLake catalog. The OneLake catalog is evolving from OneLake Data Hub. It offers a unified platform for data professionals to browse, manage, and govern their data in one place. The catalog will soon include all Fabric items such as dashboards, reports, semantic models, data flows, pipelines, and more. Experience modeling as code with the Timdal extension for Visual Studio Code. Power BI developers can now enjoy the Timdal extension for Visual Studio Code, which is available in public preview and helps to improve semantic model development. The tabular model definition language aims to make model representations readable, editable, collaborative, and reusable. The Timdal extension enhances these aspects of Timdal by adding several features that provide a comprehensive development experience. Let's check out the demos for modeling. First, introducing the OneLake catalog from your own, followed by experience semantic modeling as code with the Timdal extension for Visual Studio Code from SEED. Take it away.
The new OneLake catalog will be the central place where data engineers, data scientists, analysts, and decision makers can explore and govern all their data from a single location. Let's see how it works. Heading into the OneLake catalog to discover relevant data, I'll start my search by browsing the domains in my organization. From the catalog, I can see all the domains and also subdomains I have access to. In this example, I'll select the sales domain, and after reading more about the domain, I'm ready to proceed. Now I'll browse the catalog to discover items in this domain. I can further refine the results to see items I own, endorsed and certified items, or just my favorites. And I can also filter the catalog to only show items from a specific workspace. Now I'll choose the type of content I need. The catalog includes all the data item types I'm familiar with from the OneLake Data Hub, like lakehouses, warehouses, and semantic models. But in addition, I now get access to the full range of item types in Fabric, including insight item types like reports and dashboards, as well as the full set of configuration, solution, and process item types. Drilling into the process category shows me the relevant items I have access to, including pipelines and notebooks. I also have the ability to filter my results by the set of tags in use in my org. This helps me drill down faster to the precise results that are relevant to my needs. Clicking on any item gives me all the information I need up front. Metadata, like the item description and tags, help me get to know this item better. Clicking into lineage shows me the set of relations the item exists in, while keeping me in my current context, making it easier for me to work. Monitor gives me context on all the recent runs for this item. When I'm exploring the data items types, I'll get the same in-place experience we've already seen. I also have the ability to see all the objects and sub-items contained within my data items, whether that's the tables and columns within a semantic model or a lakehouse, or the full content hierarchy of the schemas within a warehouse. It's all in one place. Today I'm working with the sales demo lakehouse. Clicking into its lineage view shows me all the downstream items built upon it. Switching to list view shows me key information about all these related items, like the item and relationship type, and also sensitivity. With my data protected, I'm ready to share it. And today I'll create a new external data share. I'll select a table I want to share from the lakehouse, a recipient outside my org, and hit send. I've also spotted a semantic model that looks like it could be relevant to me. By clicking Explore this data, I can drill into the item's contents and create on-the-spot visualizations to better understand what I'm seeing. So that was a glimpse over the key capabilities of the new OneLake catalog. The catalog will make it simpler to explore, manage, and govern all your Fabric items in one place.
A few weeks ago, we launched a public preview of the Tyndall extension for Visual Studio Code. If you're a semantic model developer, this feature is going to be huge news for you. Now you can truly experience semantic modeling as code with a rich language editing experience that's going to allow you to work with your semantic model Tyndall for your development scenarios. Let's explore how we can use the Tyndall extension to edit this semantic model we have right here. First thing to call out is the coloring for different objects, properties, and property values we see here. That's easy on the eyes and helps us quickly navigate the file. You can see here off to the side and down below that there's a few errors in the file. With the error diagnostics feature, we can detect and correct those errors before we have to find out the hard way by deploying our models to service. So let's go on over to our first error. We got a duplicate property here, data type under column. Let's see. The issue here is we got two data types. Let's just remove one, and that should fix the issue. For our second error, we see the column is misspelled here. So let's just quickly fix that spelling. And that destroyed the next error too. So we're good to go. So now that our model file is error-free, let's go ahead and do something interesting. I noticed that we have sales, COGS, and profit columns here. So let's define some explicit measures to give us totals for those. Let's add those at the top of the file. So the first one, we'll start typing it out. And we see here that autocomplete actually suggests suggestions while we type. So let's hit tab, get that, and we can start writing our measure here. Let's do total sales, call it that, and start writing some DAX. CO. And then we want our column name, which is sales. And so while we're at it, let's also format this as a dollar value like we would like with sales. Okay. And since we're working with code here, we can save ourselves some time by pasting these and simply changing these values. Let's change this one to profit, change this one to COGS, and that should take care of our measure creation. But now we have those totals, I think we also want to get some averages. Now I don't feel like doing this myself, so let me leverage another tool that we get easy access to by being the VS Code platform, GitHub Copilot. So let's enable this here and go on back over to our Tyndall file. Here I can talk to Copilot directly. I think I'm just going to ask Copilot to write me measures to get average sales, profit, and COGS. So let's do that. And so let's accept those changes. And we got some quick and easy measure creation. Now let's save this and use the baked-in source control to go ahead and stage our changes. Write a commit here. And sync our changes. This should deploy our model to our workspace, which is already integrated with Git. So now if we go on over to service, we see here that we have our workspace and that's synced to Git. So let's quickly refresh the page. And we see that we have some updates coming in. Let's accept those updates. And let's see our model. And it looks like all our measures are visible. And this is just an example of how you can use the Tyndall extension for your semantic model development scenarios. Try out the Tyndall extension for yourself today and accelerate your semantic model development.
Power BI developers plus APIs. Fabric Git Tyndall format for semantic model export. As part of our ongoing commitment to fostering a developer-friendly environment that enhances team collaboration, Fabric Git integration will soon begin exporting semantic model definitions using tabular model definition language. This update will replace the current use of a single JSON file with tabular model scripting language. Tyndall's folder representation and readable format greatly improves source control, making it easier to track commit history and resolve merge conflicts, especially compared to Tyndall. We have many great visualizations and new visualizations in the app source this month. Power BI visualizations, KPI by PowerViz, Zebra BI Table 7.3, the most interactive waterfall visual for financial data by Zoom Charts, and Lollipop Bar Chart by Nova Silva. Power BI Other, support for Power BI language settings when a paginated report is viewed on the Power BI service. When a localized paginated report is published to the Power BI service, the viewer will see the report in the preferred language set in the Power BI or Fabric settings page. Previously, the report's rendering was determined by the service settings. Power BI Spotlight. That's it for the updates. Each month, we highlight a community member that's making a positive impact in our community. Meet Gregor Brunner. He has been a Power BI community member since 2020. He's received over 80 kudos, authored over 40 solutions, and over 260 replies. We're highlighting Gregor this month for his incredible presentation about the tool he created, Measure Killer. It helps optimize your semantic models by identifying all unused artifacts. It can also analyze shared models with all connected Power BI and paginated reports, as well as Excel files. Any gamers out there? Gregor was a professional gamer when he was a teenager. Thank you for your contributions to our community. We are grateful you're part of it. Wow! What an amazing set of updates. I can't wait to implement those in some of my own solutions. If you've missed any of the past updates, be sure to head over to the YouTube channel to get all caught up. Also, if you have any questions that you need to get answered, head over to the community forum. You can find it at aka.ms/PBI community. It's a great place to connect and get all your questions answered. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everyone that's watched the video. Also, if this is your first time visiting the Power BI YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these amazing updates. And as always, from Microsoft and myself, thanks for watching. See you next month.